This clip is sponsored by Wash and Go, and that can only mean one thing. That's right, I'm surrounded by a sea of green. By now you should know that Wash and Go is the best way to look after your luscious locks. I mean, look at what it's done for mine. Fantastic. But you don't have to take my word for it. Just look at some of the 600 plus unreal reviews on their Amazon page. Linda from the United Kingdom says, well, it smells lush and leaves hair smelling fresh. Fantastic, Linda. Kindle customer JSB says, product arrived as advertised. Always very important. Always important to know that, Kindle customer JSB. And finally, my personal favourite, it's shampoo and it works for me. Absolutely fantastic there from Casey. It is indeed shampoo and also a conditioner. If you want to get your Wash and Go today, then hit the link in the description and get your bottle sent to you today. And remember, it's a shampoo and it works for me. We're going to do favourite player at every Premier League club, and I'm going to do it based on the current Premier League table. Now you can compete with me and tell me, but I'm obviously going to do my favourites from each club. So none of this stupid club bias, I hate them all nonsense. We won't be doing any of that. We're just going to fly straight into it. Favourite player from each Premier League club. I'll say mine, you say yours. There we go. We're not starting off with Arsenal because they're not top of the league. We're going to start off with Man City. So my favourite player at Man City is quite easy. It is De Bruyne. I think class transcends rivalry, and he is a fantastic player. He's annoyingly good, but I think the way he conducts himself on and off the pitch is admirable as well. So yeah, I would go with De Bruyne from Manchester City. A lot of people going with De Bruyne as well. Some people are saying Phil Foden. I get that. Bernardo Silva's good as well. Liverpool, Salah. I'm a massive fan of Fabinho. I mean, look, it's horrible being a United fan giving credit to Liverpool, but I like Klopp. I don't know why. I do. I don't know whether Liverpool fans deep down ever liked Sir Alex. I think it was a different sort of thing. But Klopp, I think Klopp could be a little bit more like Sir Alex. I think he could be a little bit more antagonistic. I think it would help in their pursuit of City if it wasn't so respectful. I said that at the weekend. But I like Klopp. I like Fabinho. There's no doubting Van Dijk's qualities, but for me it's Salah. I think that I think Salah for me would be my favourite Liverpool player if I had to pick one. Third place Chelsea. So my favourite player at Chelsea is a bit more weird. I've always liked this player. There are a few. I think Mason Mount's underrated. I think Reece James is a good right back, and I think Rudiger has been fantastic. But I've always liked Kovacic. For some reason, I've always liked Kovacic at Chelsea. I'd love him at Manchester United. I don't know whether he's underrated or it's just a bit of a controversial take, but I've always liked Kovacic. I mean, Kante, what's not to like as well. But yeah, I like Kovacic. I do. So I'd go Kovacic with him. Who's in fourth place? It's Spurs at the moment. So favourite player at Spurs? Son at Spurs for me. I think if he wasn't South Korean and he was Portuguese, he'd get a lot more credit. I wouldn't say he's underrated. I also think if he was playing at Liverpool, he'd be on a par with Mane and Salah. He might not be as good as them, but he'd be scoring as many goals. I just think at Spurs, he's been a really good servant to Spurs, but at times the system and the managers and the players around him haven't got the most out of his talent. But what we've seen over the last few weeks and at a couple of different times in his career at Spurs is that if you provide the right platform for him, I think Son is an amazing player. Megan, thank you very much for the super chat. So yeah, I'd go Son for Spurs. We're doing favourite player at each club, so get involved in the chat. Make sure you subscribe, bottom right hand corner. We're nearly at 647,000. Chelsea doing well so far. They've had more of the possession, 51% as well. So they've had more shots. They're doing well at the moment, Chelsea. Who's in fifth? Arsenal. My favourite player at Arsenal. Right. That's quite easy. I remember him making his debut. Well, I don't know whether it was his debut, but I remember him coming to Old Trafford with Arsenal, probably coming up for 3 years ago now. It was an autumnal night at Old Trafford. It was raining and he was great. So I like Saka. So yeah, I'd go with him. West Ham. Yeah, Declan Rice. Yeah, I mean, I do like Declan Rice. It's funny because I wouldn't take Declan Rice at United because I think £100 million for Declan Rice. If we had £100 million and we only needed one player, I'd go for him. But we need about 5. So spending most of our budget on one player just doesn't seem right to me this summer. But it would be Declan Rice for me from West Ham.
Favourite player at United? None of them at the moment. Knobheads? No. Favourite player at United? I suppose I've got to do it. Well, look, Ronaldo's one of my favourite players of all time, so it's got to be Ronaldo. If it's not Ronaldo, at the moment I'd probably say De Gea. He's the only player that really seems to get it. He's the only player that over the last 9 years just plays his arse out when he's plays his arse off. Sorry, whenever we're shit. So after Ronaldo, it would be De Gea at the moment. Favourite player at Wolves? You know what? At Wolves, I do really like Moutinho. Most Rivals fans like Maguire because he's crap. I do really like Moutinho, but would I go with Moutinho over Ruben Neves? I like Neto as well at Wolves. I'm going to stick with my original choice and go Moutinho. Jay Singh, thanks for the super chat. So yeah, we've got Wolves. I'll go with Moutinho. Favourite player at Leicester? Fofana. I do like Fofana. I like Harvey Barnes as well. I'll probably go Fofana though. I think he's a quality player. Favourite player at Crystal Palace? Well, he's on loan there at the moment, isn't he? Conor Gallagher. I also think Eze is a fantastic player as well. So it'd be one of those two for me. Favourite player at Brighton? Probably one of the fullbacks. I think Cucurella is fantastic, and Lamptey as well. So it'd be one of those two. I do like Bissouma as well, but I love the fullbacks at Brighton. They get through so much work. They're so important to their attack. So I'd probably go Lamptey in that. Aston Villa. My favourite player at Aston Villa, if I had to pick one, well, it was always Grealish. Now he's at Man City. My favourite player at Aston Villa? Yeah, easy. He's really impressed me this season. Ramsey. Yeah, I've only seen him play about 5 times, but every time I see him play, I'm just massively impressed. And sometimes your favourite player at another club is going to be somebody the way you just respect them, because you don't want. I don't wake up in the morning and go, oh, who's my favourite player at Villa? It's not about who's my favourite Villa player. It's about the player that you've got the most respect for as a talent. And that's why I say Saka at Arsenal or De Bruyne at Man City. So Ramsey for me at Aston Villa. I think he's really exciting. We've got Brentford next. Eriksen. I know he's only just been there a little time, but I think Eriksen's the reason that Brentford are going to stay up. They probably might have stayed up anyway, but he's just given them that kickstart. He's a quality player. Southampton. Ward-Prowse. Yeah. I was thinking of... there are a few players I like at Southampton, but Ward-Prowse, I think that's quite easy. Newcastle. Newcastle. Oh, it's got to be Wood. It's got to be Wood. It's not Wood. Favourite player at Newcastle? Well, St Maximin. I mean, I wouldn't take St Maximin at Manchester United because he's ridiculously raw. But as an entertainment player, he is just very exciting, I would agree. So yeah, I'll go St Maximin with that. Leeds United. Dan James. It's got to be DJ. Meep meep. No, Rafinha. I think Rafinha is the player I like most at Leeds. Yeah, I'll go Rafinha there. Everton. To really have any players that are likeable this season because they've been so shite. I can't really think of a player. I mean, I would have said Digne, but he's at Villa now, so it's hard. I mean, Donny van der Beek's on loan there, so I would say him, but probably Damari Gray. I think he's been quite impressive for them this season, to be fair, at Everton. I don't know what the chat thinks on that. I don't know whether I'm missing an obvious one, but there's nobody that really jumps out to me from Everton. Alan's a good player. I agree with that. I don't like Richarlison. Gordon. Yeah, I mean, Gordon... I mean, I haven't seen enough of Gordon to really make my mind up, but he probably is somebody that Everton fans would get behind. So, yeah, not a bad shout there. Into Burnley. I mean, it was always... To be honest, Burnley, it's interesting this season. For me, always really liked Dwight McNeil, and I just wonder... I mean, he doesn't seem to get picked as much anymore, does he? And obviously they're in a lot of trouble, so I don't know whether there's a correlation between Dwight McNeil and Burnley's season not being as good as it could be, because I always really liked McNeil, and I don't really understand what's gone wrong there with him. So now, Tarkowski. I can't do Sean Dyche at the moment with my throat. So yeah, Cornet's good, but I do actually. I mean, look, I know we've got a bit of history on FIFA, but I do like Weghorst. I think he does perfectly fit in with what Burnley's all about. When I think about Burnley, I do think about those sort of players. So I probably would say Weghorst for me, which leaves us with the final two spots, which are obviously Watford and Norwich. So Watford for me, I think. I mean, I'm tempted to say Ben Foster just because he's a nice bloke and he's the cycling goalkeeper. But I suppose if I was being realistic, I'd probably say either Dennis or Sarr. But again, they've not had a great season, have they? Look at the runs Werner takes. He's better than Rashford. I don't know what has gone so wrong with Rashford. Also, Maguire makes Phil Jones look decent, says Aditya. So yeah, I'd probably say Sarr for me from there. But if you're going for personality, I'd go with the cycling goalkeeper. And then that leaves Norwich. Terrible season for Norwich. There's not much likeable about them. But I've always been a fan of Max Aarons. He's a TUSFC legend, so I've got to go Max Aarons, you know. He's my bro. He's a TUSFC legend, so yeah, I'm going to go Max Aarons for me from Norwich. So there we go. We've blitzed through that. That was a good little half-time chat, wasn't it, actually? And everyone got involved, which was great.
Goldbridge, that's the end of the clip. I'm sure you enjoyed it. In fact, I bet that's the best clip you've ever watched. So there's no reason not to subscribe to the channel, click the bell icon so you never miss a clip again. In fact, smash a like on the video because we all know only legends like videos and you are all legends. So please smash a like on the video and we will see you again on the next one. Thank you very much for watching as always.